Okay, go back into performance mode here.
Is Destil here?
I thought I heard him.
Yeah, I'm here. Oh, there we go.
So you guys are going to make it back into town on the 4th. So you're going to miss both dues day and tax day, which means there will be penalties because you didn't pay your taxes.
Hey, we have a receptionist for that.
I thought we gave her instructions to do that.
Yeah, we gave her money.
She's a gorilla.
Gorillas can pay taxes, Brick Road.
That's kind of racist.
mean,
Gorillas
we don't
are
actually
valued
owe that
members of
money for
society.
that much taxes. Wait, didn't we pay taxes last month?
A third of
I'm
every
serious,
other
we
month.
pay taxes every 2 months.
Yeah, but not last month. Month before last.
we did like a time skip.
Taxes are a scam.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. No, now we're on month. Okay, yeah, we're on month 4, day 4, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, that lines up with my notes then.
Fantasy April 4th.
We can calculate the tax stuff.
Played.
So what was the plan? Paying all that out of your...
Petty cash.
Yeah.
Okay.
We owe 61 gold and 2 silver.
Just make it an even 80.
That's...
Let's make it an even 880.
Well, wait, that's not even anymore.
So the plan is, you guys come back up into Dunfoss. Are you going to do anything in town before setting this up, or is the plan to just set up
I don't
time
think
within
we're
the next
planning
day?
to be in town. I think we're gonna go through the underwater cracks.
Right, but I was asking, did you come up into town to do anything first, or are we just coming directly into the dungeon to set this up?
No, I think coming directly in. We just get this over with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Bear with me just 1 second.
Okay, who drew this square?
That's me.
Okay, Nodal, can we talk about this corner?
So I originally drew it using a ruler, and then I realized there's literally a ruler tool that's marked as a grid, so I drew it with that instead.
I just want.
Go ahead and place yourself on this map where you want to be.
I think we should spread out a little bit, so we don't get wall of fired.
Seeker, you need to be within 30 feet of me.
You just put yourself, and I'll put myself near you.
I did.
Alright, then I'll be over here.
Oh, come on.
I was told that I have to be near Alex. No one told you you had to be near Alex.
No, I'm talking about the what? No, I'm talking about this.
So
Oh, that's fine. Don't be a baby.
This is
I
just
need-
whatever.
I just need to be up front. I think you.
I got yelled at by mom.
How long does your protective ward last?
A day.
Okay. And do we have any other spells going up?
Yeah, I'm putting 8 on everyone, which will last for 8 hours.
Okay. And we've erased the spell slots for water breathing and fly.
water breathing is a ritual, so I can do that. Fly, I can knock that off. Yes.
Okay.
Just take a short rest after fly.
If
No, can't.
we're able to,
Lasts for 10 minutes.
do that. But we just needed to get Fly to get Scrappy out of the
Yeah.
pit, right? That's
Yeah.
what we
Yeah.
needed it for right now. If Brickroad can allow for a short rest there, then that's fine. If not, that's fine too.
I'm going to try to attempt a short rest.
You are all on that side. Okay.
I was told I need to be by Alex.
I don't want
Oh,
to be.
no,
I, can, I could be over here with you if you want to be over here.
I can live without a spell slot.
That's fine.
Maybe.
That's fine. That way we're spread out. A
If
little.
we're all standing here, I'm moving the square.
Hmm.
Which now that I'm using the square tool will be much easier.
I can give you haste if you want.
That doesn't last long enough to.
What's
be
the
something
rate
we
on
have
haste?
before people show up.
No, I was talking to Gus anyway.
What's the range on haste anyway?
30 feet.
30 feet. Yeah. We'll see.
But you gotta ask, because people get kind of grumpy when I cast haste on them. They haven't asked for it.
How many of you know Counterspell?
I know Counterspell now.
Do you have everybody, all the wizards have prepared, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
have it prepared. No, I inscribed Counterspell and don't have it prepared.
So how many? Is it just you?
No, it's me too.
Okay.
Seeker as well.
Okay. Which of these squares is accurate? Because I see 2 squares.
It's just one square.
What's this bowling alley we've got going
Oh
on?
God.
So we've got a margin over here.
Yeah. Oh God, it's wait, what? Look at this. It won't let me delete it anymore.
Nodal, what have you done?
This is what happens when I get asked questions.
Let me try.
It's this square. Hey.
Okay. Is this your final answer?
Yeah. I love that square. It's my favorite square. List of squares, number 1.
Okay.
Do you need the name of the spell?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you cast Private Sanctum, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, then I already know the spell. Do need to get my scratch pad open here. Okay. So you sent Vladislav in. He was going to go commit some minor crime in town, get brought into the Black Jackets, which he'd get diverted to Lygus. Tell Lygus in his meeting that he left Dunfoss with the intention of hunting you guys down in order to bring you back. And he was doing this because he wanted to get back into his and Skada's good graces. He concocted some story where he fought you guys on the road as you guys were returning, that you were planning to go down back into the sewers to do more uncovering into their activities. And that during the fight with you, you guys attempted a polymorph spell. The idea was you were going to polymorph him into, what did you tell him? Anything? Doesn't matter? Except not, he's going to make
It's just
something up.
a rat.
Okay. That you were going to polymorph him into a rat, and that the spell succeeded and you barely escaped with your life. So he knows that you guys are on your way back to Dunfoss, and you are going to sneak into the sewers to continue your investigations there. So he knows where you'll be and when. And as if on cue, you guys notice 6 blackjackets down in the sewers coming in your direction. So no sound can get in or out of this box.
Right.
Did he give us a description of this guy?
Oh yeah, he gives you live.
Can I pick him out of a lineup of black jackets?
You'd be able to pick him out by rank, if nothing else, because he's dressed more officially. So 3 of them are coming up this way, including Lygus, and 3 of them are coming up. That's 4, not 3. Are coming up this way, and they stop outside the radius of the spell. And you can see them, those of you with dark vision that can see down the hallway, you can see that they're performing some basic magic rituals. They've got their little dingly-do that has detect magic on it. And you can see right away that Lygus picks up on the fact that there's a spell cast here. Mm-hmm. The only person watching right now are Gus and Florian. Is that correct? Because everybody else is around a corner?
Yeah.
And Scrappy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going.
Gus.
Uh-huh.
And Florian.
Mm.
Make an Arcana check. If you're trained in Arcana. If you're not, don't bother.
That's a 24.
That's significantly. That's like a 6.
Okay.
with that.
Gus, you're not having any difficulty seeing these guys either because they are carrying light sources on them. They each have just kind of a standard issue, like lighted badge that they can wear in dark places, the black jackets. So what do we get on Arcana? We got a 6 and a what?
24.
24. Florian, watching these guys approach. These guys here across the way from you are a little too far away to see much of what they're doing. These guys here, you're watching the three of them go through their little minor incantations, the kind of things that blackjackers typically do. But here's what you notice. Only Lygus is actually performing magic. The other two are going through like semantic motions, and you can see that their mouths are moving a little bit, but they're not actually channeling any kind of magic. They're not actually doing anything. They're just doing it for show. And then you hear Lygus call out, but you can't hear him because you're standing inside of this private sanctum. No sound can come in or out. And then he's going to dispel the private sanctum.
Oh, that's a bummer.
So the private sanctum vanishes.
Oh well, he had to burn a spell slot.
Did
All
he?
that work to draw that square.
You don't think the black jackets, the magic police, carry around like wands of dispel magic?
If he does, I'm taking it.
It doesn't work. As soon as you pick it up, it crumbles to dust.
Oh,
So,
Wow.
Nodal, you tried very hard to draw this square out, but now you're going to have to delete it. We'll
bumped
wait.
into my second one.
It's fine. Underneath that, I got a Leomid's tiny hut.
Underneath that, it's a rope trick.
And then Lygus, you hear him call out. So the second time you see his mouth open and he speaks at you, but this time he's calling out. Flumph Inc. There are 5 of you, correct? Well, 5 of you plus the monstrosity.
I'm gonna yell back. It's not nice to call. It's not nice to call Seeker a monstrosity.
Ah, jokes.
I'm gonna wink at like Seeker. I don't know if Seeker can see me, but I'm gonna wink at Florian.
Do you have any more nasty tricks you'd like to tell me about before I approach?
Wasn't a nasty trick, just blocked sound.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we couldn't hear you.
Should I even ask if the 5 of you plan to come along peaceably?
Why are we going with you?
Should I take that as a no?
Seeker will just kind of look around the corner.
Okay. And
What
you
was
see,
the name of the person we knew? Captain.
I think it was George. Giorgio. That was
And
the
he'll-
inspector that had detained Alexander for a while.
And Seeker will just kind of look around the corner and say, "We're used to dealing with Inspector Giorgio. Is he not with you?"
You have dark vision, yes?
Uh-huh.
Make a perception check.
Wah, wah. That is a 2.
A 2. That's a
Yeah,
very
2.
low roll.
It's not a good one.
You
It's
don't
what I would
see...
describe as a bad one.
Because you had met Giorgio briefly when he came to the barge on one occasion.
Yeah.
But you don't see him among the numbers here. You can't be sure about these two across the way. They're pretty far off. But these guys coming up the hallway on your side, you don't see Giorgio among them. Lygus calls out. Perhaps we can reach an accord. Send one of your men forward in good faith, and I will speak with him. That way we don't have to shout over our own echoes.
Alexander should send out Scrappy.
Oh my god. I mean, Scrappy can't talk, so
They don't know that.
He did say good faith. If you send out Scrappy, he's going to assume bad faith.
All right.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna start
Also-
walking forward unless
Uh-huh.
somebody
I
stop.
go or should
Well, Gus is already moving forward on this
Yeah,
side.
I'll step forward until I see Gus move, and then I'll stop.
Okay.
It's one of
Yeah.
those things where it's like, I expect this is going to end in tears either way, so I might as well be within melee range when shit goes down, right?
Oh, don't feel bad, Gus. I was never going to go forward. I was just getting within polymorph.
All right,
How close do you get, Gus?
about right there.
About there?
Yeah, it's about basically half the distance between.
All right. He's willing to meet you halfway. He steps forward. His 2 men fall in behind him. 3 men on this side approach to about the same distance. Gus, make me a perception check, please.
Sure.
Make it at disadvantage. It's going to be harder for you to tell on this side than on the other side.
Let me do the math here.
Okay.
Right. That's a 1
Yeah, that's a fail.
minus.
So you're approaching. Lygus is dressed in the similar black jacket. That's why they call them that, because they wear actual black trench coats. And but his is of much nicer material, and you see his along the inside of the coat, along the inside flaps, you see where it has silver filigree, and you imagine this is some kind of protective magic sewn into the coat. Being such a high up in the black jacket, these guys can have any number of magical trinkets on their person. Remember, they carry around little coins they use to detect magic. They carry around special powder they can throw on invisible people. Any number of tricks up their sleeve. And this guy on top of that is, or rather was, one of the lieutenants of the Flying Pig. So he has a warlock of some renown. Although his other men probably don't know that because it was a very evil warlock situation. So as you approach him, he kind of scoffs, and you definitely get the impression that you're not the member of Flumph Inc. they expected to send forward to speak for them. And he tells you as much. And he says, Flumph Inc. is known to me as a group of spellcasters of considerable renown, and they send me their brute. Very well, I'll speak with their brute.
I know a couple of tricks. Also, they're on the other side. You just walked up on the side where I was. So like, if you want to speak to somebody else, you're gonna have to get down into the, and I point at the poo water and trudge through that and get to the other side.
And I think I've dirtied my boots enough for one day.
So unless you want to go through there, you're stuck with me.
Gus.
Yeah.
He begins asking you questions about various crimes you guys have committed, up to and including murdering the owner of a smokehouse who was well loved in Wharftown. You hear his words. All of you can hear what he's saying. He's asking questions about your crimes, whether or not you intend to, fight the system. If you want to go peaceably, you can stand trial, etc., etc. Gus.
Uh-huh.
In addition to hearing his words, you hear him speak into your mind. And he's telling you, you can go free if you're willing to sell out the rest of your comrades. He'll take your 4 friends, overlook your various crimes, let you walk free if you're willing to aid him in their subdual. He's giving you the opportunity to betray your friends.
If Gus were a much more subtle person,
Mm-hmm.
I probably could turn this around to my advantage to get the jump on him, but I'm not. So Gus is going to look incredibly he's not going to say anything, but he's going to look incredibly offended. Like this man is like spoken ill of his mother, kind of offense.
So you say nothing?
I don't say anything. But I just look incredibly offended.
And he calls out, he says, Flumph Inc., I've asked you to send forth a man to answer some of the accusations of crimes laid at your feet and you send me a mute. If this man speaks for you, shall I take under advisement that Flumph Inc. intends to say nothing in the face of these accusations?
You asked me you asked me about crimes we committed, and I have heard no crimes we've committed.
Yes. One of the ones was listed was the murder of a well-known owner of a smokehouse. You guys definitely committed that one.
More of a banishment.
Yeah, he's like,
There's no body. We didn't commit a murder.
yeah, no body. If the glove don't fit, you must quit. There's no body.
Speaking of the glove, there's also this business of an evil relic that Flumph Inc. is in possession of. And he describes the hand that Seeker carries.
Should get that in for me.
He's asking Gus to confirm the existence of this artifact.
I don't know. He's a gnome. You can't tell what they've got on their bags.
He says, you don't have to play stupid, son. You're plenty stupid already.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have it or not?
I honestly, currently, I don't know. Like, does Seeker actually have the hand currently with him?
My understanding is that Seeker carries it because you guys did not want to leave it on the barge.
Yeah, I have it.
The answer is, I'm going to look at Seeker, and I'm going to be like, I'm just going to shrug at him. Like seriously, like Gus is like, he stepped forward just to get into melee range. Like, they're like this conversation is, yeah, it's pointless as far as he's concerned.
So he starts going into this back and forth between Seeker, like hollering at Seeker across the poo water, and Gus, who's standing in front of him. It looks like he's just trying to confirm that Seeker is carrying this object and that it is in fact an evil object, and they did not bring it to the Black Jackets. And you guys all hear him saying this. Gus, in your mind, he's explaining to you the types of psychic torture that await, as he instructs the Black Jackets to plumb the five of you for magical secrets that you may be hiding. He describes this unpleasant psychic torture that can go on for days and days and days and leave you a shivering, wrecked hull of a man. And you can avoid this fate for yourself if you agree to help subdue your companions.
Gus is going to just sigh, and he's not going to pull his weapon out, but he is going to unsling his shield.
Okay.
And he's just going to be like, and he's going to look at him and say, I'm not siding with you in this, with your stupid little Warlock games. Please stop asking.
We're not talking about picking sides. We're talking about a magical artifact being held by Flumph Inc. Is that correct? And we have this device with you on your person. And he hollers across the poo water at Seeker.
And Seeker looks to the three people on his side of the street and says, do you have any way of measuring the truth of a statement so that I could just tell you and this could be over with?
He calls over. He says, don't worry, I'm a very good judge of character.
And he says, and Seeker says, forgive me, but I'm more concerned about, and then he says, the people standing directly in front of me.
So
I'm just trying to get a read on them.
Did you already fail the perception check once?
On these guys? No. I failed one when it was that guy talking. This one.
Well, I made somebody roll a perception check and they rolled like a 2. Was that you?
That was Gus, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was Gus talking to these guys.
Okay.
Yeah, for these guys it was
Well,
me.
somebody did it against the North guys too, because Gus rolled second.
If it was against the North guy, that might have been me. I
Okay.
don't know what I was rolling against. It could if it was against these guys.
It was a
then
perception check.
yes.
and
If
you
it was
got-
against these guys, yeah,
And you've
yeah,
already,
absolutely.
and
That
you've
was-
already failed. Okay.
Okay.
It's difficult to get a read on them, and it's not super surprising because they're blackjackets. These are
Mhm.
like the elite magic cops. But Lygus assures you that he'll order his men forward, and then he'll order you to relinquish the artifact over to them. And they will not raise arm or spell against you unless you show some measure of hostility. It's very simple. You keep your sword sheathed, so do we. Make sense? Gus,
Mm-hmm.
as he's talking, as he's telling this to Seeker and negotiating back and forth about this hand, he's still talking into your mind, describing in depraved detail the exact specific types of psychic torments they're going to inflict on Seeker, especially.
Alex is going to yell out in response to that. That's not consistent with the last time we were taken in by the Blackjackets. They weren't particularly concerned about some specific magical hand at that point. What exactly changed your minds?
More information has come to light. You have many enemies in town. People you did not even know were watching your comings and goings. Make no mistake, Flumph Inc., you are resourceful. But you're not as powerful as you think you are, nor were you as careful. The investigation has continued the whole time you've been out of town.
Gus is just like pushing like dirty thoughts at him. Like
Sing
like,
the song! Sing the song!
I don't know what song you're talking about.
Seeker.
Yeah.
I'm going to order my men forward now. And then I'm going to order you to hand over the artifact. Is this going to be done peaceably?
Seeker looks over his shoulder at Alex, and the look on his face is just like, "All right, are we doing this?"
I mean, Alex... Yes, Alex, the look on Alex's face is we are absolutely doing this.
Okay, yeah, and then Seeker turns back to face him,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, and he holds up his hand, and he just says, "Okay, listen, I just want to explain first to your companions there that you're an evil warlock trying to take control of the city. And if they use a truth spell on me, they'll see that I'm telling the truth." And then Seeker snaps his fingers to start combat.
What are you doing to start combat? Are you going to immediately just go right into polymorph?
Yeah, let's go for it, guys.
All right. Let's roll the initiative.
This is where
Gustavus,
I
the
have a 20
face
and
you
we're
are
gonna
not.
No, it's fine if you roll a 20.
Nope.
Gustavus, the face you are not.
Yay! I'm useless.
Seeker got a 14.
No, Seeker got a 15. Oh, it's one more in it.
God, he rolled really good. I feel like I'm starting to feel like Brick Road is cheating on the initiative rolls this campaign. He's rolled consistently super good, and I'm jealous.
Like, my guys are on an 8. What are you talking about?
This guy's not on a 22.
That's just a separate issue. That's
If
not
I was
involved.
cheating, I would have done this.
Yeah. No, I'm not actually accusing you of cheating. I said I'm super
Uh-huh.
jealous. I'm super jealous.
Uh-huh.
Listen, I miss my like +10 to initiative from Birdie a lot.
I miss my private sanctum.
We all have our
I love
crosses
that
to
thing.
bear. We all have our crosses to bear.
Okay, so you're going to cast polymorph on your turn? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay. And he knows you're going to do that because you told Vladislav to tell him that he's going to do that. So the question now is, how much did Vladislav betray you?
On a scale, it's on a sliding scale of 1 to 10. How boned are we?
Yeah. How much risk did Vladislav take on a scale of 1 to 10?
I think the answer is a 2.
And everybody knows you have 5 more max and current hit points, right?
Yes.
Gus,
Yes.
can I please get a Constitution saving throw?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty good at these. That is a 6. I rolled a nat 1.
6.
total. Yeah, 6.
Please to be taking 35 points
Uh-huh.
of necrotic damage.
This is police brutality.
Yeah, and I can't.
As Seeker goes to cast a spell, Elijah wins initiative. Just shakes his head, raises his hand towards you, and as he does, you just feel this terrible pain starting at your waist and staking up across your thigh and across your belly and across your chest and up the opposite arm. And looking down at your skin, you see the flesh everywhere where it aches looks aged, wrinkled, and cracked, like it's rotting and falling apart. And he tells you this is only the beginning. And now it's your turn.
Yeah. I'm going to bonus action second wind.
Yep.
Because that was almost half of my hit points. And that is a D10 plus my level, I think. It's been a minute. Yeah, so D10. Ooh. So that's 18 hit points.
Nice.
So Gus kind of just shrugs it off and he pulls his cutlass out.
Okay.
Takes 5, 10 steps right here next to everybody, and he is going to. Is there anything I can do to? Is there anything mechanically I can do to like lower his chances of succeeding on this? I don't think there is. Is there?
Not unless you have a way to make his saving throws worse.
I don't.
That's not the part I'm worried about. The part I'm worried about is picking him up after he gets polymorph before someone else steps on it.
I mean, okay, I'm going to actually, you know what I'm going to do?
No, I don't. You haven't told me yet.
I'm going to shove this guy.
Okay.
Uh-huh. So that's an attack roll, right?
Sure.
It's been that's a critical shove. I don't know.
Critical shove.
This is a nat 20. So let's see. Let me actually see what the shove rules are, because I don't know how far you push them. Shoving creatures, you can make a special melee attack to shove or knock it prone. I'm not knocking them prone. I'm actually pushing them away from Vladislav.
Sure. This isn't Vladislav, but okay.
Well, it's yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm right. I
sorry.
know I'm right.
I can't tell. All these warlocks look the same.
It's 5 feet.
Racist.
The answer is 5 feet.
5 feet. You can push him 5 feet. Okay, so then he is here, and then I'm going to push this guy down into the poo water.
Okay.
With a does a 20. That's like a 25 hit.
Yes.
Okay, he's down here.
Okay.
And I guess if it's does he like slide any further? I don't know how curved this is.
It's curved enough that you're not going to sustain fall damage, but the center of the like aqueduct here is a good 10 or 12 feet from the lip.
I don't know if like he continues to move is what I'm asking.
No, that's fine. He can stop there.
Okay. And okay, so Vladislav. What is this guy's actual name, guys?
Lygus. Aristo Lygus.
Lygus. Okay, so Lygus is alone now.
Well, he's got 5 guys with him.
Well, he's not. Anyway.
Moving or staying put?
That's the end of my turn, yes.
It's going to bring us to Seeker.
All right, I am going to step a bit forward. And then I am going to cast Polymorph on him.
Okay, what level spell's Polymorph?
Polymorph is a level 4 spell.
Is that the highest spell level you're able to use?
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, he's going to counterspell you.
All right, I am going to counterspell him.
Well, he has to make a roll to see if his counterspell works first. Do you not want to find that out? Or do you want to counterspell immediately?
Nah, he can go for it. He can make that roll. He made that roll. It was a 3.
Okay. Now, if he makes this roll and he succeeds, that's the end of it. If you want to counterspell him, you have to do it before his roll, and then if he wants to counterspell your counterspell, he has to do it before your roll. Does that all make sense? I just want to make sure this all plays out the way it's supposed to.
I think so.
Okay,
that all
means
makes sense.
You want to counterspell him right now.
We don't, because
So do
Before
I want
he
to counterspell him?
He's going to cast counterspell as of right now.
but he's got to make a check to see.
Yeah, but you're not going to be allowed to say you counterspell after you see the result of the check.
Right. When I say, you're not going to be able to wait until I say, oh, he succeeded on counterspell for you to decide. You have to decide.
Yeah, I definitely want to counterspell him.
So you're using your reaction to counterspell that. Okay.
Yes, for sure.
Oh, I thought you were going to use one of your.
Yeah, I thought you were wanting to use a
Yeah.
3.
Well, those I can do before he makes the roll, but listen, first let me try this counterspell, because I can possibly just counterspell.
What level counterspell do you use?
3.
A level 3.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make that check.
That is a 11.
Add
You wanna
5
give
to
me
that.
It's a 16. So level 6 counterspell, I'd be able to do this mess.
Okay. And then he makes a saving throw.
No, he rolled a 3.
He rolled a 3. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. I saw this coming.
This is what against polymorph? Constitution?
Constitution, yeah.
How does a 15 do?
A 15 is not going to do it.
No?
My spell save DC is 16.
So he's 1 off?
He's 1 off.
All right, let me make a quick adjustment to his character sheet here.
Oh, jeez.
All right, how's the 16
Oh my
do?
god.
Oh, no.
Really?
Seeker.
Yeah.
He has this just smug, shit-eating grin on his face when you step forward to cast your spell. Like, he knows what's... Not only does he know what's coming and have the... Like, this is all planned out, but he had time to cast a necrotic spell against your good buddy Gus.
Yeah.
Just for good measure. That's how little he considers you.
Listen, bitch. No one knows what's coming but me. I'm the seeker in the dark.
And I help.
So he starts letting forward the counterspell, but you're ready with your own counterspell. Using a reaction on your own turn, which I think is illegal. Like, the D&D police are going to come and get you afterwards.
Oh, God. I hate those police.
Typically, what would happen in this case is that his counterspell would dissolve, and that's the end of it, and then your polymorph would go off. However, this is like a custom counterspell that he's put together himself. Instead of just knowing, like, instead of his counterspell just vanishing... Actually, no, his counterspell just does just vanish. Doesn't do anything special because you successfully countered it. And then he failed this. So your polymorph does just go off without a hitch. And it hits him, and then he fails the save by 1. And you turn him into a newt?
A kipper.
A kipper.
Yeah.
Just a fish, goldfish.
A fish flopping around on the ground.
Yep.
Moving or staying put?
I'm staying put.
And you no longer have a reaction for now.
Nope, but my Tressum has a turn.
Who?
Whisper?
What,
Right here on my shoulder.
What's Whisper?
It's my Tressum.
Oh, no, I banned Tressums. No more Tressums.
Oh, that's a shame because he's got a real good turn coming.
What does the Tressum do?
He's gonna fly over here. He's gonna take this kipper. He's gonna fly him back to Alex.
And polymorph lasts, like, he doesn't get to repeat the same.
It lasts an hour.
Yeah.
Into the bag.
Okay. Moving or staying? Are you? It's already in your turn. That's gonna bring us to Alex.
So it's an action to put something into the bag of holding, so I'll put the fish in the bag of holding.
So you do that.
And
Operation.
then I'll yell out, your captain has been deceiving you. He's working for a warlock. Put down your weapons. We don't need to fight.
No,
What do you-
And I'll-
So what happens with the bag of holding? You put the goldfish in the bag, and then you like pull the drawstring, like you close or conceal the bag somehow.
Yeah, I put it back on my person.
Okay, I need Gus
Huh?
to make me 2 Constitution saving throws.
Does my reaction come back at the start of my turn?
Yes.
Oh, but Gus is too far away. God damn it.
That is a 13 and a 6.
Those both fail.
Oh.
Gus.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? No, only the one, because this guy is way down below you.
Okay, then a 13. Oh, because that's the one I rolled first.
10 points of poison damage. When very suddenly, all 5 of these guys, they start opening up their mouths. And as they do, they make this kind of sound. And out of the front of their mouth pushes the cap of a fungus. And it kind of bursts forth to the point where their whole head is opening up. And the funguses lose their physical constitution very quickly.
Ugh.
However, the one closest to you, the spores that get released into the air, these horrible poison spores get up in your nose and coat the inside of your mouth and make you extremely nauseous. Outside of that, though, all 5 of the things just kind of collapse into a pile of clothes and disgusting smelling fungus.
Gus is on the ground going.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing.
Alright, I think we need to get Gus to a cleric.
And we can come off initiative now unless Florian is going to start punching one of his teammates.
I feel like Operation Fishy Lips went off without a hitch.
I thought we were calling this Operation Fish Stick because we turned him into a fish and we stuck him in the bag.
That works too.
So do we want to like put him in a bottle?
Declaring a moratorium on Operation Fishy Lips from now until the end of time.
Secret, what happens when something that's polymorph dies?
So when its HP reduces to 0, it will transform back. But it'll
what
still
happens
be in the bag of
out
holding.
of air.
Then if it still doesn't have air, it'll suffocate. So it'll collapse again.
Like that's how suffocation. Does suffocation? You just die though, don't you? You don't take HP damage.
You just drop to 0. Like you're just done.
So yeah, you guys are holding a bag of holding that has the warlock inside of it.
I'm going to start asking for other things that I care about out of the bag of holding and pulling them out and putting them on the floor.
That's not a bad idea.
Okay, you start doing that.
I've got an hour. Or however long it takes a fish to drown. I mean, did we want any information out of this guy?
We've got an excess of warlocks. We can stand to lose one, I think.
Yeah, I think we call it a wash on getting information from this warlock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get everything else out of the bag of holding, and then I'll just sit there looking at it.
So just leaving the warlock in the bag of holding
Until he suffocates.
until he
to death.
suffocates.
Yeah.
Lucius looks back over at the pile of clothing and black jackets, and he wonders, did he actually kill some of his subordinates, or are these just things he disguised?
He probably didn't bring any subordinates with him.
Yeah.
So
Seeker puts a cloth over his mouth and then goes over with a stick to poke through their remains to see if there's anything in there.
No, just gross, rapidly decaying fungus.
Gus is like bent over the edge here, just puking.
Yeah, I think we better get you to a doctor, Gus, just to make sure that you don't have anything.
I don't have any restorations. I was fully set up for combat.
Make sure you didn't catch demon fungus.
Okay. So what's the plan from here?
I mean, see, I think we should reach out to what's his name? What is his name? Vladislav as well, but no, the
Giorgio.
other,
Giorgio, yeah.
Giorgio, yeah. I think it's Giorgio.
Do we want to head up to the barge at this
Yeah.
point?
I think that's what we do.
Who
At
wants
some
to?
point, I'd also like to take a side trip to go talk to Caitlin Chubb.
Well, let's do this one at a time. 'Cause first, we have finances to deal with. Have you guys already subtracted your dues and such?
Yeah. Let me pay taxes.
I'm currently carrying a bunch of money because you split all of our money. You split a bunch of our money up between us.
So 8% of the business profits are due. It's
Yep.
12% for you guys because you're being
Yep.
rolled over.
This is the month 4, and we got them paid on what day is it? Tax paid on the 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
4/3.
Have we actually had any profit since then?
We
and
had
we're going to tack on a 20 gold penalty because nobody
Okay.
from Flumph Inc. was here on the 3rd. There's some obscure rule that they made up specifically to screw you on that.
That's fair.
Is it?
I mean,
it's
strictly
not.
speaking, no. But I mean, it's to be expected from.
It's decidedly not fair. Florian, you owe 3 gold for dues.
Okay.
Seeker, you owe 15 silver.
Hmm.
Lucius, you owe 45 gold.
Yes, done.
And Alexander, you missed school.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of explaining to do.
I mean, we
Are
would
you,
have
are
told.
you doing that today?
It seems like we're going to be pretty busy today. I'll go deal with that tomorrow.
Okay.
It's. I mean, like we told them we were going out of town, didn't we?
You guys left town very, very swiftly. You left some instructions with your receptionists, but as far as I know, that was about it.
We literally skipped town.
Yeah.
Seeker almost
Yeah,
didn't
it's
make
pretty
it.
tough.
See, went and got arrested.
Oh, and Linda had to take her salary out of our money twice too.
Okay, that's fine.
We're gone.
You are also owed a healing potion, though.
Hey,
I'll tell you some obscure bits of herbalism trivia that I asked about, assuming that I remember them.
And you owe something to the Ponce as well.
Sure do. What do we want to tell them?
I think we tell them the truth.
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, but do we split that information? Can we split the information?
So we just tell them we have. I mean, I think we should just tell them that we have 2 leads, and we have one. We have one interesting bit of information, and we have a further lead, which would require us to travel to Blue Worm.
Yep.
So basically, the interesting bit of information is that there appears to be some kind of conspiracy to conceal the actual identity of Eldov's sister and any children she has had and erase their existence.
From a magical font of all information.
Right.
I have a
And-
piece of information he might want as well. He
And then-
claims himself to be the descendant of Eldo Fireblood. He just made a few pit fiend enemies.
Yeah.
Remember, Koryo is not claiming to be a direct descendant of Eldov. As far as I know, Eldov has no progeny.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if they see someone with a Fireblood
Nodal,
name going
I wanna
around,
make this
you
very,
might want to
very
be
clear.
aware.
Eldov has never had sex with anything.
Eldo fucked the hut.
There's
Gross.
just
Gross.
chicken-legged
Gross.
walking around.
That sounds like someone really, really loves Pizza Hut, like a lot.
Oh, does the hut lay an egg if it gets pregnant? What is it?
I think our session is over now.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
we're
it.
done.
That's all. So you tell Koryo that you have a lead. What do you tell him the lead is?
The lead is that we investigated a lot of it. We discovered tons of historical information about the Fireblood bloodline, and the specific information about Eldov's sister was basically had to have been deleted because everything else was so completely complete and thorough, and the fact that that was literally not even a footnote tells us that that's where we need to be looking next, because someone actually went through the records and got rid of that information.
There was
And al-
also no information whatsoever about any of the founders, namely Eldov's companions, except for one piece of information, which is that we found that a piece of equipment that is associated with them is in this town that you can get to from Blue Worm.
To clarify, he had a lot of information about the founders, just not their current whereabouts. Like
Right.
things about their personal histories, their exploits, things that have happened in the previous campaigns, or
Yeah.
actually in the first campaign, I'll say, because stuff happened to these guys in the second campaign that probably it doesn't know about.
We just asked him in about 6 different ways, like where any of them were currently, and he had no current information. The only thing that he told us is that the most recent place that he's aware of that staff being is in Sigil.
Mm-hmm. Now, I did kind of have to guess that this whole scheme of like let's go like deep into Mechanos and steal this gigantic portal cataloging construct and hide it here for our own purposes to watch these doors. I assumed that Zook, Khalil, and Eric would not care about that for various reasons.
I feel like we could convince Zook to come
I
along.
think Zook might. Eric
Zook-
definitely. You're
He
right
just
about
didn't
it.
know that Zook was there. Too stealthy.
Zook, nobody saw him.
Zook was invisible the whole time.
I have in my notes that Zook had little interest in either plundering Planner secrets or safeguarding them. Eric was against the idea as an abomination to his faith,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
and spent the remainder of his life enriching the Church of Osprey in other ways, and Khalil was drawn philosophically into Sigil specifically.
Yeah, no, that's about right.
The funny thing is going to be in precisely 16,300,000 years when they do an audit of these objects, when Mechanus comes rolling up.
Also, like, Cube and Terran were probably very interested in like safeguarding portals and watching them. Eldov, I would imagine, was more just, hey, let's just steal this awesome thing and keep it here.
Yeah, you go. Let's go steal this thing. He just goes, all right, let's go.
Do you even
We're
want to know
gonna steal a thing that does that affects a. We're gonna steal a thing that's big and magical.
Like, Eldov's just, hey, we have this thing, we can just ask it where any portal is and it has to tell us. Sounds
All right,
good.
hop on in. We are going to Chernobyl.
I feel like Eldov's just on board with stealing anything because he's a dragon sorcerer.
So,
It's just in his blood.
two other things happen while we wrap in the interest of setting up the next story arc here, since we're kind of bringing the flying pig thing to a close at long last. Going back to the barge, you do get a visitor, not today but the next day. Inspector Giorgio comes to call, and he has Vladislav behind him in irons and chains.
Oh, good. We can give him the corpse of another person who tried to fuck him over.
Yeah,
No.
fantastic.
But Giorgio
No,
does show up with several black jackets who remain at the top of the ladder. As how is he going to get Vladislav down this ladder?
You're gonna just kick him down.
Problem.
I can't
I
just...
can cast magic to drag him down.
So Lucius comes out and uses
You cast
magic.
fly on him.
Don't cast it; it'll just fly away.
He's
I
gonna
know.
fly away, jackass.
Lucius comes out, fly, be free, Vladislav.
No,
He's
absolutely
on a
not.
leash.
And
Yeah,
then
no, exactly. Yeah,
about right at the edge of the range, Seeker casts a spell magic.
Just
So
laughs.
here's what happens: Giorgio understood that Vladislav came in. He heard word of it. He saw that things were being handled irregularly. He had suspected Lygus, but didn't have any proof or evidence. He couldn't go against a superior officer. When Vladislav went in, Lygus did have him thrown in irons, thrown in a cell, so he could go deal with Flumph Inc. And then if it turned out he was telling the truth, he was going to go back and negotiate. What ended up happening instead is as soon as he left alone with his... I'm not going to tell you what these monsters were, actually, because I want to use them again. You didn't get a proper fight against them, so we'll pull them back out sometime. Giorgio broke protocol and went down and spoke to Vladislav. Vladislav was under the impression that Lygus was probably going to lose the fight, but he was expecting some of you to die as well.
That's not very believable. Come on.
I mean,
All the
look at
adventuring
us.
we've done together. Vladislav, come on.
Investigating.
Investigating, thank you.
So the first thing Giorgio asks you is whether you vouch for this man's role in bringing down the third Warlock.
In that role, yes. He
Okay.
was helpful.
Yes.
And do you have any interest in looking into what became of Skada at this point?
Yes.
Okay. All of your legal troubles that you guys had from the moment you killed the flying pig to the moment you escaped Dunfoss were the result of having an enemy high up in the Black Jackets. It's also the reason why the Black Jackets seem to be very blasé about doing any real investigation into it. They were receiving very conflicting orders from the top.
Mm-hmm.
But now we've got a good friend, right?
Well, he asks you if you expect... Well, he wants to know if you've killed Lyges, first of all.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Wait, okay, out of
we-
like, before he shows up, like I think I'd be like, what do you guys plan to do with this body? Because I don't see any problem. Like the blackjackets are going to come looking for him. Obviously, I think we should just hand the body over.
I think that you should start reaching into that bag and asking for things that he's holding until we find out that he's dead. Because then they'll be in the bag.
I'll just turn the bag inside out. There's nothing but him left in it.
Yeah, I definitely want to, like...
Yes, okay, search his body first, right? Take anything that he has on him. But like the body itself, I think we should hand
Oh,
over.
that's his. He's welcome to it.
Okay.
Can you just ask for the body but nothing on the body?
I don't think so. It's not like
So,
Well, you've already made the solution. Just flip the bag inside out, and it'll
just turn the bag inside out, strip him anything useful, and just leave him with his clothes and hand that over.
so he has
Before we-
the typical Black Jacket accoutrements on him.
Okay.
He has
Oh,
his
it's
little detect magic coin. He has his Warlock spell focus, which he would have concealed on his person. He had a second spell focus, which is the typical like Black Jacket wand.
Mhm.
His Warlock spell focus would be the Amulet of the Flying Pig, which you've seen before.
Yep.
I think Vladislav wears the same one. He has his Black Jacket trench coat, which you could not wear in Dunfoss without drawing immense...
How easy would it be to die?
Just give them back the black jacket equipment.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
No?
Oh,
Absolutely.
I'm at least making a copy of it first. Do you know how useful that would be to have?
What?
Seeker, we've
What if
just gotten out of
takes
we've
over?
just gotten out of legal shit. We don't need to get into more.
No, I'm with Seeker on this.
So, Seeker, what equipment are you taking? He's also got that a few doses of that invisibility powder that he throws on people to determine if they're invisible.
I'm looking over the Black Jacket trench coat to see if there's anything on there that makes it distinctive as a like something that if you needed to prove this was a Black Jacket trench coat would be on there.
Well, what's interesting about this particular coat is the inside of it. You see silver filigree, and there is an abjuration enchantment on it.
And you can identify it. We got.
Yeah, I'll identify it.
Okay. It's a trench coat that can be worn over your person or over armor. Provides +1 armor class as long as you're wearing it.
Okay.
If it also provided +1 to all saving throws, you wouldn't have been able to polymorph him.
You're
He rolled a 10 on Dark One's own luck, so he got 10 plus 3 plus his save.
that's a bummer. That's a bummer for him. But yeah,
Other than that, it's the typical Black Jacket stuff that they pretty much all carry.
Yep. Then in that case, once I just look over the coat and make sure that if I needed to, I could whip up a new one with my supply chest. I think I'll take the coin and the powder.
Do we really need those? We have a ton of ways to see invisibility and magic.
And Seeker just shrugs. Do we not need them?
I don't think so.
I don't think it's worth the risk, to be honest.
Yeah.
If he
I don't
asks
think
for them,
it's
I'll
worth
give
the
them to
risk.
him.
Okay. And Giorgio
Yeah,
does ask for them, because in addition to being this evil warlock, he is also... Like, he's going to have to present this evidence to his high-ups. You guys have his spell focus. Presumably, you will all speak in testimony against him, as will Vladislav. He also has the accumulation of evidence that you guys came out with from the sewers, plus a bunch of the mutilations and things, disappearances and things that the Black Jackets have been covering up until now. There's a lot of corruption that he can deal with.
What about Skada? And because she, I don't know. I'm
This
like
is what
worried about-
Vladislav answers. He says, Well, if you convince the good inspector to release my chains, I'll be happy to answer that. The inspector gives you this look like you want to trust this guy on your barge.
No, absolutely not.
It's just like, and I'll look at Alexander and I'll give him the biggest puppy dog eyes. Like, we still have to find Scott. We still have to find.
I don't disagree with you. I just don't think that we want to let this. We don't want to let Vladislav free for that.
Listen. We let him free, and then we just send him on his way. We'll take him to Blue Worm. We'll kick him through the portal with Sigil. We'll never see him again.
He's gone. That's it. In fact, that's the gate key. Is just a guy named Vladislav. You got to bring one.
Everyone's gotta have a Vladislav.
So, do you undo his chains?
I mean, will you let us?
Giorgio is deferring to you.
Against it.
So if we have one vote for, one vote against. Vladislav points out that so far he hasn't steered you wrong or put you in a trap. He's delivered everything he's told you.
Yep, and we can deliver you right back to the authorities to take care of those murders that happened in the sewers.
Surely you want the actual murderer, the person who kidnapped those poor people and put them in that position to begin with?
I also want the person that shoved the fire elemental into their chest. I think that's good too.
I think he's saying that's Skada, and it was like a lightning elemental.
So we're not gonna let Vladislav.
Well, I mean, I'm willing to put it to a vote, and Alex is entirely for throw him in jail.
It's 1-1 right now.
Seeker says, "I'll change my decision in 1 second," and then he goes over and he takes a pair of scissors and he cuts off a hank of Vladislav's hair.
Okay.
Puts it in a nice amulet. He says, "All right, I'm good with letting him go. I can find him."
Vladislav looks to Lucius and Florian.
Strictly speaking, I agree that the third of their trio has, while she may be hampered, there's still the real possibility of her coming back to take revenge, and I, for one, would rather not see that happen. So I'm in favor of letting Vladislav go about his way.
So the yeas have it.
Florian wanted him dead at one point. I wanted to keep him alive.
Oh,
And now Florian.
he crosses us again. His ass is grass.
I guess.
Oh no,
So
Yeah, Florian will let him.
So it seems very tense, but Giorgio does remove the manacles. Vladislav starts rubbing his wrists. He seems very proud of himself, and you see him reach up and touch the place where his hair has been cut. He gives a knowing smile to Seeker.
Seeker waves.
He says, unfortunately, Lyjas dispatched Skada north when I delivered the news that you'd be returning to Dunfos. It seems that she's going to make an appeal to the northern armies, meaning the undead.
Where's Kana?
With her. She's been instructed to tell them who has the artifacts.
So like, if we leave now, we could theoretically catch up with them. Because they just left, right?
Well, as
A
of
day or two ago.
It's like yesterday.
it would have been almost a full day at this point, because yeah, you guys, you're having this conversation with him the next day.
Yeah, so we're not going to be able to.
You guys went
get
in the
on
sewers.
road.
You waited a few hours for him to do the thing. You had the confrontation with Lyjas. You made your way back up into the city. You did a whole bunch of stuff involving payments, and yeah, so it's been a full day at this point.
Gustavus, we're not getting 100% out of this. We're getting like 95, which I call that a win.
How fast can you fly, Lucius?
Not a matter of speed; it's a matter of distance. I'm not going to be able to catch that much distance and without
Scrappy
having
never
to stop
gets
every hour.
Giorgio speaks up.
Yeah.
He says, "Tell me what this woman looks like. We have encampments and men all up and down the road, building supply lines for the war.
Certainly.
I can pass information onto the Silver Shields.
And I'm going to like hold my hand. It says she has I guess we'll describe her. She's a half elf, and we all saw her face. So, but I'm also going to warn him. She has a little girl with her that she is keeping against her will, and forcing to assist her. Please.
He says that he understands if a lot of you don't have much trust or faith in the Black Jackets, or indeed the Dunfoss military at large. But he gives you his word that you can leave this to him. There's no way she can travel far enough north across army lines while escaping notice. If she attempts to blend in with other travelers or war refugees, she'll be noticed. You have her physical description. You know she's traveling with a young girl.
May I ask you one favor, Giorgio? The Black Jackets, I'm led to believe, have ways to compel the truth from people.
We have our candles, yes.
May I have one candle?
Sure, that can be arranged. And
Thank you.
In fact, probably Lysias probably had one on his person, being an inspector. So yeah, he goes through the things that you gave him from Lysias' person and hands it over.
Okay. And I grab Vladislav by the shoulder and I march him onto the barge, and I'm going to be like, okay, it's time to find out if you were involved in those, like how involved you were with the murders down there.
So you're going to interrogate Vladislav with the candle?
Yes.
While he's doing that, I'm going to walk over to Seeker and just nudge him. Hey, Seeker, you got a sending? Might want to let Kevin know to keep his eye open.
Seeker nods and then says, and turns towards Giorgio and says, and by the way, if the Crown decides that they want assistance from a group of known Warlock foes, know that we have very reasonable rates.
He hates Warlocks so much. In fact, if there was a Warlock here right now...
Giorgio, I would hope that that your endeavors to clean up the Black Jackets Act would be proof enough that we'd be able to get our trust back.
Well, Vladislav knows.
Future.
He didn't commit any of the actual kidnappings. What he did instead was one of his primary jobs was scouting throughout Dunfoss, looking for potential warlocks for the Flying Pig to tap. Here's the thing: is a Rakshasa is a powerful fiend, but they're not incredibly powerful. They're not on the scale of normal warlock patrons, which would have usually be on level of like a pit fiend or something at that point. And so every little piece of power that he gives away is a piece that's gone for good. He has to ration it out very carefully. So a lot of these underlings that were brought in were not actually given any real warlock power. This is like the kinds of people that you've encountered here and there along your travels. They were promised the sun and the moon, but there were no actual follow-through.
They were given a cardboard cutout. Gotcha.
Basically, yeah. That's the level Vladislav was working on. He's just been working on it for a very long time, to the point where he was one of the oldest among them. Whereas Skada and Lygus were like the first and second.
So he's
just took in.
He's third by virtue of he lived the longest out of the lesser warlock.
The point he got to was where Skada and Lygus would have made actual pacts with the fiend, the way Lucius does. Vladislav was recruited. Hey, this is the Flying Pig. Here's all the wonderful things he can do for you. Boy, howdy, doesn't this sound great? And that initial pitch doesn't involve, oh, by the way, we're going to be kidnapping and mutilating people, and people are going to explode into cockroaches.
Right.
As he came to understand those things, they unnerved him, but he was already at the point where if he tried to betray them, they would kill him.
But we already know from our timeline bullshit that he has an actual patron among the actual powers of hell at this point instead, right?
Oh,
like is that where he got that cantrip?
He does. He does have Warlock abilities. He worked with the Flying Pig long enough to actually gain levels in Warlock, and he's not a pushover himself.
Well, my read was his patron is no longer the Flying Pig; that he actually has a one of the major powers of the Hells now is his patron instead. Was I wrong on that?
No, his patron is forever the Flying Pig. That's the difference between a Warlock and a Cleric. So when a Warlock patron gives that power, they cannot rescind it. That's part of the pact. You gain this power, and if you use it against me, I'm just dumb for making you my Warlock.
Yeah.
So yes, Vladislav has committed many crimes, up to and possibly including murder, in the Flying Pig's name, but he's been looking for an out for a while. And it is very true that he was in fear for his life. When the Flying Pig was dead, Skada and Lygus were looking to eliminate him.
I feel a lot better about Vladislav now. Less inclined to just murder him outright.
Or he has a cantrip that manipulated the candle you're burning.
I doubt that.
Okay.
I mean,
If he comes back, that's more for us.
Yeah.
Right.
Vladislav's intentions now are to travel as far away from Dunfoss as he can. He's going to get on a ship and try his luck elsewhere.
Why just a portal to another world?
Yeah, we're actually
Yeah.
planning a.
That sounds horrifying. No, thank you.
I'm going to I'm like, well, I'll tell him about the desert. Like, I grew up over here and blah blah blah, and there's this city and.
I guess to put a pin in it, are we making a permanent enemy of Vladislav?
No.
No.
Okay.
I kind of want to jack his stuff.
The next day, you
We could
receive another visitor. Very late at night. You guys are spending the time, probably, if you're not spending the time relaxing and recuperating after your long journey and all of your ordeals.
Oh no, Lucius did absolutely spend one night just throwing cards at the F-56 cards because he needed that desperately.
You receive a very late night summons. Very hastily.
From whom?
From your friend, the good captain. Captain
Okay.
10 Sails. He wants to speak with Flumph Inc. urgently. He wanted to speak with Flumph Inc. last week, and they weren't in town.
Yeah.
He's summoning you to just a nameless little, just rot grub tavern in Wharftown, which is not his usual locale.
His usual haunt. Yeah. He
This
usually-
was urgent last week, and
probably
his
got
men.
even more urgent this time.
Right. So his men have just heard that you are confirmed that you're back on the barge. He needs to speak with you pronto.
Uh,
I suppose we should not.
Yeah.
Turn such an
Just-
invitation
I'll
down.
just support.
Where do you tell him you've been? Because he's in this little bar. He's got a private room on the side. It's just little tavern. It's the kind of place even Gus wouldn't drink at typically in Wharftown. Something where he very clearly does not want eyes on him. But he does have a private room off to the side of the main tap room.
I think
Well,
you
I think
overestimate Gus.
He's in there with 3 of his men.
I
And-
assume we tell him that we were investigating, that we were just working and investigating other leads.
I
Yeah,
know
tell him
the
we were
case.
working for a client, and
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
we give clients
Confidentiality.
confidentiality.
Because I don't require confidentiality for the job I'm about to hire you for. I think you've proven your mettle to me more than once. And I think I'm correct when I say that the 5 of you want to see me sit the throne as king.
Eh, I'm neutral, but
You
I'm
tell him
not
that?
gonna No.
In terms of transactional politics, sure.
You say that to him? It's a big word, transaction.
Florian will.
Florian uses big words.
He
That
tells you,
sounds like something Florian would say.
to that end, my
Yeah.
my occupancy on that chair hangs by a thread.
What did you do?
How long have we been away for? Wow.
A couple weeks.
Really
What
seems
happened?
that fast.
We've
Here's
been
the
away for
story.
almost a month.
yeah.
The story is, he and a lot of other people in the city believe that Maximilian is dead. He made a public appearance quite a while ago now.
Yes, I
Actually,
remember that.
two months ago, he made a public appearance where he talks about the war and whatnot.
Hmm.
Has not made a public appearance since. Nobody has met with him since. His close family and his personal guard are very cagey about his whereabouts. It's not
Already dead.
hampering the war effort, but he suspects that the king is dead, and they're trying to postpone the announcements to keep a man from the commons from rising to the throne. And then he found this, and he pulls out a half-shredded letter that looks like it's been sopping wet at some point. Looks like it's been run through the grinder underneath somebody's boot heel. He hands it over to Lucius because it's written in Infernal.
Could I cast Prestidigitation to clean like the dirt and grime off of it?
You can, but that would break the mood.
Okay.
It's like
Hey,
this is
hey,
dirt.
Breaking the mood.
Help to make it read easier, but okay, sure, I'll read it.
And it's a missive. It's addressed to the Tiefling Journey that says, in Infernal, bad Infernal. Like, this is, hey, I'm going to teach you 30 words of Infernal so you can write a note in that language so other people who intercept it probably can't read it. Infernal.
Mm-hmm.
From somebody inside the palace that knows the king is dead, that knows where the body is being kept, and it has instructions on where in the palace to find the king. And it's addressed to Journey. 10 Sails wants to hire you to break into the palace and find this body first before Journey does. Because if Journey does it, and she brings evidence out of the palace that the king is dead, his family tried to cover it up, the people will be so livid in this that they would not be possible to stop the groundswell of support that would move Journey directly into the throne. This, he's come to understand, would be bad news for a certain detective agency that leans heavily on magical prowess.
Certainly.
So you want us to break into the most secure place in the city?
Well, no, he wants you to break into the palace. There's no way that's the most secure place in the city.
Yeah, we're not. He's not asking us to go into the mint.
But you do want us to steal the body of the king.
Just bring evidence that it's there.
How
That
do
seems
you
less
know this missive speaks the truth?
He says he doesn't, but he trusts it. He's had his men on Journey, watching for a couple of days. The past 6 days.
Before or after she read it?
He has intercepted this missive last week. But he's been watching her the past few days. For the first 2 days that he got intercepted the missive, nothing out of the ordinary happened. The following 5 or 6 days, she very notably did not do her little morning routine of starting the fire at the Chestnut Pie Inn. She's holding her magic for some reason. He thinks that
Think it
she's
might be
received
because of
this
her
message
companion?
anyway.
What was that?
Might think it might be her companion might be involved as well.
Ten Sails
This-
doesn't
this
know
is
much about
very-
her companion.
Yeah, I'm just directing this at. I think it was Florian who was with you
Yeah.
when you found out about him. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's right.
It's the drow, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Boy, Alex sure doesn't say that in front of 10 Sails, but you guys go right ahead.
Like I'm
No,
not
I'm
saying that
not.
out loud. I'm just asking.
Okay.
Wild
So-
memory.
He says, you see what's at stake here. You need to keep Journey off the throne, and if you do this for me, you will have a friend in the King of Dunfoss. And you will have done your patriotic duty, or whatever.
Or whatever. Quiet.
Have you done any looking into the palace security?
And
How do we?
he shakes his head, and he says, my men are known to the palace security. These dwarves, they're cagey, and they keep their doors locked tight. If I were to bring force in any capacity, I would show my hand too early. Make no mistake, I'm prepared to lay siege to the town with my ship if need be. I could demand the production of this evidence, but I could not do so without destruction of property or loss of life. If you find the person who wrote this missive, whoever Journey's contact is on the inside of the palace, and put the information together, bring the evidence to the people with me instead of letting her do it first. And we are all rewarded.
Indeed.
Seeker looks around at the group. This seems like we're actually getting paid for something interesting. Speaking of getting paid,
You'll have a friend in the King of Dunfoss.
all right, but like, how good a friend? I have a lot of friends.
Seeker.
How many friends can change the laws at a whim?
Seeker at that.
How many of your friends can make crimes disappear, can make evidence vanish? How many friends can open every door in the city to you?
And Seeker nods a few times and says, all right.
It's an interesting word choice. Door.
They all go to Sigil.
Hearing that a lot lately. If I remember that. I don't
There's
know.
one right there.
Well, we're gonna have to do a little bit of preparation. Can you watch Journey and let us know if she makes a move?
His men have been watching her as closely as they are able. He suspects if he gets any closer, she's going to know he's under surveillance if she doesn't already.
Right. And you don't
If I
want to...
give you a sending stone, can you make sure that whoever's watching her always has it on them?
He can see to that.
I'll give him a sending stone.
Okay. So this thing must be done in utmost secrecy, and it must be done with swiftness, if possible.
Okay.
All right, well, in that case, I think I need to get started.
Yes.
And then he dismisses you.
Mm-hmm. So,
I say we
What-
reconvene on the barge. before we
I need to
discuss
go
any
talk
of
to
this.
Caitlin Chubb.
I gotta go to school.
What do you want with Caitlin Chubb?
I need to get spell scribed.
oh no.
What spell?
The level 4 divination spells. One second, I can get their name.
I want to, in lieu of having performed service while I was out of town, hand over my list of all the Fey crossings in Trennis to the people in my guild.
And that's more than adequate. You just tell him I was out doing field work.
Yep.
Here are several Fey crossings that you didn't know about already. I'm better than you guys. Peace out.
He just throws deuces and backs up out of there.
Seeker,
level-
go ahead and scribe scrolls.
Okay.
Or spells for whatever the cost is.
Yep. It's
Perfectly fine.
Arcane Eye and Locate Creature, just for reference.
That's fine. And I posted the straw poll in the chat. I'm going to take 2 minutes and tally up some experience points. You guys can be thinking about your blips. I will be right back.
Guys, Arcane Eye is so good. So good.
So I'm thinking actually take stealth and sleight of hand when I level up in addition to Arcana.
I think I would just have to go take my armor off.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get lighter armor or just not wear armor for this, but
we're gonna have. We need to invest in a pair of breastplates. Is what we need to invest in.
I can probably A, I could get a breastplate. B, there might be an infusion that actually would remove that penalty. I'll have to look when I level up.
I apparently need to learn Fireball.
No, you're
Fireballs
fine.
for cowards.
Florian, I think you're doing amazingly at your job, whether or not you can throw fireballs.
Who's the most creative today?
Who thought? Gosh, we got to give somebody. It was kind of a group effort, but we need to decide somebody who is responsible for Operation Fish Sticks. Because, okay, first of all, I love that name, and I'm willing to give it to Nodal for the name. But if somebody has a better idea of,
I mean, Nodal did a lot of the heavy lifting for it, so I'm perfectly fine with that.
yep,
Okay. What about Badass? We shoved Gus out in front to
Yeah.
deal with.
We did.
I was thinking Gus, yeah. Gus, go deal with it. Shove. Who then
And he
proceeded to
just
shove
went.
some people.
No complaining. Which is the one you can say about most partners.
he has a lot of complaining. Just-
Not that time.
It's like It's like after the fact complaining.
So they're like, I hate you all, just throwing up. Okay.
Residual complaining.
Creative
For the
solution.
party's goals today.
Party goals, yeah.
Oh, party goals? I thought it was creative solution. I thought the first one was party goals. Never mind.
Party goals.
Nope,
That's...
creative solution was pretty much that was Nodal's Operation Fiststick's plan.
All right, party goals.
Yeah.
I'm going to say again, there was a lot of collaborative answers. It's difficult to give one person like
So I'm going to suggest myself for if we're going to say party assist and throwing out all the critical +5s this
Yeah,
session.
that's good.
We're gonna give you it for that. You can't keep getting it for a class
Class.
feature. I say we give it to you because you asked a lot of the most useful questions up at talking to the guy.
Talking to the our
No, I think, okay, how about for figuring out that we should be looking for the information that it's concealing?
Yes. No. Yeah. Very good.
Mhm.
yeah, that's a good one.
And intangibles.
Oh, I wanted to give it to Lucius, but I don't remember why. I'm furiously running through what Lucius did.
I want to give it to Lucius, and here's my reason why. Because every single time anybody from the first campaign came up, he was so excited, and it warmed my heart.
Yeah. I have good memories. What can I say?
And that's why I want to give it to Lucius.
And the grandfather always told me such amazing stories.
I appreciated it. That was me.
Okay.
Oh God.
That is win. Shit.
I get phone calls without fail immediately, like at the ends of things. Every single time. It's
Alright,
never
first
like,
let's-
oh, call me again in 2 hours.
All right, who wants some experience points?
Me.
I'll take a double helping of experience points.
The sass on this one. Everybody has 580 experience points coming for successfully bringing down the Warlock. And who wants to do their blips first?
I can go.
Gus.
Okay, I have neutral good. I must be a benefactor and strive to leave things in a better state than I found it. For my desire to see this little girl taken away from the obviously what I'm assuming to be abusive warlock who likes to put people in walls of fire
Mm-hmm.
that she previously expressed fear of. My ideals, my companions are my support structure, and I must do what I can to protect them from themselves or just walking up to speak with the warlock, and obviously be in melee range, and then the video last time.
Okay. Who's next?
I could go.
Sucker.
Alright. I have good is only taking from those that can afford it. Chaos is taking them for all they're worth. For getting every single absolutely question from the Aptononochregon.
The what?
The absolute punishment octagon.
The what?
The Zetai Unme octagon.
The aggregate Gnomregon? I think
Right.
I already did Gnomregon.
Gnomegon's pretty good.
You're gonna have to explain where that word comes from at some point.
What, Gnomregon?
World of Warcraft. Comes from World of Warcraft.
Alright. I've got anybody can be fooled except for me for the plan to trick him with the polymorph.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got opportunities everywhere, if you can see it, for using my forgery and disguise kits to make a blacksmith outfit, even though we're currently friends with the Black Jackets.
Wait, when did you make a blacksmith outfit?
Black Jacket outfit.
Did you actually keep the black jacket?
Oh no, I gave everything back, but I went over that thing with a fine-tooth comb, so if we need to make one, we've got it.
Oh, okay.
Who's next?
Florian will go.
Florian.
True neutral. Sometimes you have laws, but laws are also restrictive. Sometimes you have to be good. There's no way to define good for wanting to steal the black jacket card for personal reasons. That's the reason why I agreed with Seeker. There are infinite truths. We must experience them as we can to figure out their validity. For questioning the Aptononochregon
Nope. But okay.
and doubting its capacity to figure out what the truth is. And that's it.
All right. Who's next?
I'll go. I have alignment, lawful neutral, always be willing to take the law into your own hands, but no further for his dealing with Vladislav and wanting to keep him behind bars.
Mm-hmm.
I have ideal, the dead deserve dignity, the living deserve to reap what they sow, for dealing with the body of Arresto.
So you did turn that over to the Black Jackets. They were able to take that away?
Yeah.
You didn't carve it up and serve it for dinner?
Nope.
Okay.
We have some magical flatware if we did want it to, but we don't. And then I have law. I'm sure we can handle this for everything involved with the ridiculous counterspell plan.
Okay. And Lucius.
I have my ideal. Knowledge is paramount for standing and pressing as much information as he could out of the
Out of who?
out of the
Charlie Brown's teacher.
So, repeat after me. Apto.
Apple.
No.
No.
Knock.
Not
Regon.
Octagon.
Aptononochregon.
Aptononochregon.
You got it. There you go. McDohl, you're smarter than all these other guys.
But is he smarter than a third grader?
Anything else?
I have my flaw, double or nothing for the. Oh, by the way, Lucius went gambling because I haven't had a chance to for a while, and I need to. Might have something of an addiction, but that's okay. And then I have my alignment, lawful neutral. Take your place in society, work well for your fellow people, take care of your own. For his opinions on Vladislav. Vladislav is pretty scummy, but he did do us a good turn. And Lucius does respect that.
Okay.
But he is still of a mind that if he crosses us again, his ass.
I feel like you've said that every session for months now.
Yeah, so does Alex.
Okay, this is it, but the next time we deal with them. Okay, but then that's really it. Then the next time.
It's the hat.
No,
It's the hat. It's always the hat.
no. I don't
Only
think
7
so.
times. Shame on
Lucius has been seething about this guy for a while.
Who had the most creative solution to a problem this session?
We gave that to Seeker for Operation Fish Sticks.
I strongly disagree with calling it that, but
I don't
turn
think
him
you
into
have.
a fish and then we stick him in the bag.
Yeah, you
Good
don't
plan.
have a choice. One blip for who furthered the party's goals the most.
That was Alexander for recognizing and focusing in on asking about what the
information that
what information was missing, like
Okay.
trying to find like advance our knowledge through what kind of hole is here,
yeah.
context clues, like
Who was the badass this week?
Gave that to Gus
Gustavus.
for being shoved out ahead in order to deal with our horrible Warlock friend.
And intangibles?
We gave that to Lucius for his incredible positivity anytime the first campaign came up and asking any number of questions about it, which I personally find very charming.
Okay. Blips are currently worth 466.
Did they go up? Because I thought somebody leveled up.
Yeah, they're up.
That is up.
That is up.
Okay.
So Alex, you have 6. You have to roll over 4. Florian, you have 5, and you just earned 2. Gus, you have 0, and you just earned 4.
Mm-hmm.
Lucius, you had 6, so you're rolling over 4. Seeker, you had 5, and you're rolling over 4.
Okay.
Well, you've earned 4. Is everybody going to take their maximum blips in the next session?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get 8 without spending any.
All right, that's going to do it then. We come up next week. these dudes are going to sneak into the palace, which, I mean, was going to happen at some point.